Well, hey guys, good morning. Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. What's going on out there today? Hope you're having a great day so far wherever you are. I am here in the California desert, Southern California, Rancho Mirage, the Mission Hills Country Club to be specific. Actually, Wimbledon Drive is the address. About a 30-second walk from Grass Court 10. And today looks like it could work out. Not going to be hot today like it has been. It'll get up to high 60, maybe touch on 70, but beautiful morning on tap. Got a session on the grass courts this morning. Looking forward to that. And what I want to talk to you about today, don't have a video, so I'm going to make this kind of short today. Let's see if we can't stick to 7 minutes, Brent. I want to talk to you about the passing shot in singles. And I think too often, this is something I used to do, is I would gauge the passing shot. Let's call it up the line. Let's just start talking about up the line. We'll just kind of go over there as opposed to cross court. And I would kind of gauge my opening in terms of obviously the single sideline, but also gauge it with where I thought my opponent was passing shot, meaning that they're either approaching or they're already up at net, right? And so that was kind of the target. Well, what's the space that I've got between the sideline and that person, right? And too often what I find is that when we bring our opponent into the equation in terms of that kind of thing with a passing shot, is that we think about, well, I'm going to hit my passing shot past P-A-S-T, I believe, past that opponent, as opposed to something that actually works better for me. And I think I actually heard this back in the day from Chrissy Everett. And someone was asking her about passing shots. And she just said, well, I just have a target. I have a target that is like I've always said, a spot above the top of the net, not a spot over there in the court, but a spot above the top of the net. And she said it in a way that made it sound like I take the opponent out of the equation. I'm completely focused on my target, meaning I don't have to rush it. And lots of times we do rush pass because we're concerned about the opponent, maybe closing the gap right on our target. And so she made it sound like I just have a target. I get to take my time to be able to hit the ball to that target. Let's call it a forehand up the line pass, just as an example. And so she knows, and it's interesting about this because one of the things that the Big O and I have talked about recently is what is your ideal? Let's again use the forehand as an example. What's your ideal point of contact? You have to know what that is, right? I mean, you can be coached all day long and told, well, here's the point of contact. Okay, in general, that might be okay. But you have to actually know what's your unique ideal point of contact. Mine's different than yours. The Big O's is different than mine. Blah blah blah. Right. So once you find that point of contact, then your job, and let's get back to the passing shot, is not to rush it. Right. It's to pick a target above the top of the net that has nothing to do with your opponent. That only has to do with where you want the ball to travel over the top of the net, and allow the ball, allow it to get into it's just an extra nanosecond. The big mistake most players make on the pass is they're a little bit too far out in front. They're a little bit too early. They're a little bit too jumpy, right? So that's kind of thing one. Pick out a target that has nothing to do with your opponent, that only has to do with a spot above the top of the net. Thing two would be allow the ball to get to your unique point of contact, whether it's forehand, whether it's backhand. The third thing is to make sure that you're on balance, right? And on balance means that, like, if you're going to hit this thing and, you know, you're so stretched out, you're so much on the run that it's going to take you 2 or 3 steps afterwards just to put on the brakes and stop, then look, you're either A, going to have to go for an outright winner, And B, why not throw up a lob? Why not on that one, just go ahead and throw up the high lob and buy some time? I promised 7 minutes. I'm going to keep it to. There's a story about when I played the national grass courts in 1985 against one of the all-time great Aussies, Colin Dibley. And I'm going to save that story for another time. But it has to do with the lob. Anyway, so that would be thing 3, right? The balance. Make sure you're on balance as you play this thing, meaning that you're not falling way past the middle of the court after you hit it, so that you can assume it's okay. Let's just assume on this pass, I've got my target. I've allowed it to get in my little honey pot right there. Perfect, ideal point of contact. And now I'm on balance because let's say that the guy over there guesses that I'm going up the line. And that's okay. Oh boy, that's okay because I'm on balance. And now I'm thinking that there's a good probability this is going to be a 2-shot play. And then the second shot becomes, obviously, if there's a wide opening, whatever it is, it could be a little lob, right? The wide opening could be a little lob because your opponent's so close to the net when they make that stab at it that maybe up the line again or cross court or maybe right at them doesn't make sense. Maybe a little dink lob is a shot. But the assumption there is that they're going to get it. That's okay. And we'll then play a second shot. And so that's kind of the mindset for the pass, is take your opponent out of the equation, find a target, take your time, that extra nanosecond for the ball to get into your, sweet spot, and then assume that they're going to get it so that you're on balance and you can play a second shot. So what do you do with the next shot? Well, like I just said, you could go for another pass, either up the line or cross court, at him a lob. But the whole mindset is the same thing. Let's assume that they might get it, right? You can't, that's a controllable you have no control over. So if you're going to force a pass that even if they guess it, they can't get it, guess what? You're going to miss a ton of passing shot opportunities. So that's a 2-shot mindset. And every shot thereafter is also a 2-shot. Guys, hope this has helped. I want you to get out there and practice that. Or the next time you're on the court when you get the passing opportunity is again, be thinking, what's your target? And don't have it in relation to your opponent. Have it in relation to a specific spot above that top of the net. And just assume it's going to come back, and that's okay, right? So, all right, that's it. All right, 8 minutes, a little bit over. Better. I'm getting better. Guys, look, if you're over at YouTube, would love for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and click that subscribe button and also click the notification bell and then choose all so you get notified every time I go live or upload some new content to the channel. If you're on Facebook, would love a like and a share. As always, I would really appreciate it. Any comments, any questions, just find the comments area, or you can direct message me at Facebook or shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. With that, we are done for today. So guys, time to get out there, help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks.